મહેશભાઈ યુટ્યુબ પર કે ના મહેશભાઈ
ના મહેશભાઈ નથી મૂકી
તો મૂકી દે મુકાઈ જવાનું સોલ્વ કરી.
Dear student, today we will take the fourth lecture of PH 3501. In the last lecture, we have studied the quantization of the phase integral and Wilson-Sommerfeld quantum rule. Just remember what is the Wilson-Sommerfeld quantum rule? That the value of phase integral integration of pi dqi is an integral multiple of Planck constant h. Then we can derive the energy level of a different periodic system like particle moving in the box, simple harmonic oscillator. They are the periodic system. You can compute the energy of periodic system like a particle in the box, simple harmonic oscillator, and the motion, and also the energy of a hydrogen atom in which the electron is revolving around the nucleus using this phase integral. Okay. One example, the last lecture we have discussed one example, that was the particle in a box. Particle in a box. We have considered a one-dimensional box of length L and particle. The electron is doing to and fro motion in this between two walls of the box. This example we have discussed in the last lecture, and using this phase integral, we have derived the energy of this particle moving in a one-dimensional box of length L. Okay. Now, in this phase integral, you must be knowing that this pi are the momentum coordinate and qi are the position coordinate. In the last lecture, we have discussed that if the particle electron is moving between two walls, rigid wall x equals 0 and x equals L of the one-dimensional box of length L, then if the particle is moving in a one-dimensional box along x-axis, then it has only x coordinate. It doesn't have y coordinate and z coordinate because particle is moving in a one-dimensional box along x-axis. So its position coordinate will be x only. It doesn't have y coordinate and z coordinate because particle is moving on a x-axis in a one-dimensional box of length L. If particle is here, x will be 0. If particle at the middle of the box, the value of x will be L by 2. If particle at this end of the box, the value of x will be L. So the value of when the particle is going to and fro motion, the value of x is going to change. So particle has only x coordinate, that is the position coordinate, and corresponding to x coordinate, the momentum of this particle is px. So how do you write the phase integral for this particle? Integration of, okay, instead of pi, we write the momentum coordinate of this particle is px. D. Instead of position coordinate, the particle is moving in a one-dimensional box, which we have considered on the x-axis. So particle has only x coordinate. So integration px dx. So position momentum coordinate is px and position coordinate is x is equal to L. The value of limit of x we have taken from x 0 to 2L. Why this limit is taken? Because when particle starts its motion from x equals 0, the lower limit will be 0. When particle travels distance L during its slow motion, is striking, colliding with this wall x square. From this wall it is reflected back. After colliding with this wall it is reflected back, and again it travels distance L. So during its to and fro motion it travels distance L plus L. So when during one period the limit of x will be 0 to 2L. Okay. There was one correction in this last lecture. I have made one mistake. So I make that correction here. Px is the momentum of the particle. This constant integration of Px is equal to nh from 0 to n. 0 to 2n. So Px is the momentum of the particle. That is a constant. Magnitude of the momentum, it is constant. So take an outside integral. Integral dx is equal to nx. You know very well that integration dx is nothing but x. And limit of x is when particle starts its motion, x is 0. When it completes one motion, the traverse distance L will be slow motion and traverse distance L will be slow motion. So total distance will be 2l. So 0 to 2l. So Px into 2l is equal to nh. So Px is equal to nh upon 2l. So this is the quantized value of momentum of the particle, which particle can take this value of momentum when it is moving in a one-dimensional box of length L. Okay. In the last lecture, instead of 2l, I have written 2 pi. That was my mistake. So please make the correction. Instead of this is not 2 pi, this is 12. So momentum of the particle comes nh upon 2l. So when particle is moving, is constrained to move in a one-dimensional box of length L, then particle cannot take any value of momentum. Particle can take only these values of momentum nh upon 2l. When you take n is equal to 1, particle has the momentum h upon 2l. When you take n is equal to 2, particle can have momentum 2h upon 2l. When you take n is equal to 3, particle can have momentum 3h upon 2l. So particle can take these values of momentum. The other values of momentum are not possible. And from this value of momentum, we have derived the energy of this particle moving in a one-dimensional box. So energy of a particle moving in a one-dimensional box is kinetic energy is p square upon 2n and potential energy was 0. So total energy of the particle is the sum of kinetic energy of the particle is p square upon 2n and potential energy of the particle is 0. So if you put the value of momentum in this equation, you will get the energy of this particle. What is the value of momentum? nh upon 2l. Please remember, make the correction. It is not nh upon 2 pi, it is nh upon 2l, where l is the length of the box. So let us put the value of momentum px. So px square will be, so the value of momentum px is nh upon 2l square into 1 upon 2l. So energy of the particle comes out to be n square h square upon 8 nl square. Where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, so this is the quantized energy of the particle, which is constrained to move in a one-dimensional box of length L. When you put n is equal to 1, in the energy level n is equal to 1, the energy of the particle is 1 square means h square upon 8 l square. In the energy level n is equal to 2, the energy of the particle will be 2 square, 4 h square upon 8 l square, which is 4 times greater than E1. And in the energy level n is equal to 3, the energy of the particle will be 3 square is 9 s square upon 8 m square, that is 9 times greater than E1. Okay. So this was the example, and in this example we have computed the energy of a particle which is doing periodic motion in a one-dimensional box of length. Today we will take other example of periodic system, that is a simple harmonic oscillator, and we will compute the energy of simple harmonic oscillator using the Hertz integral. So second example of periodic system is a simple harmonic oscillator, and using this Wilson-Sommerfeld quantum rule, let us derive the energy of simple harmonic oscillator. You have studied what is a simple harmonic oscillator in 11-12. That simple harmonic oscillator, you consider simple pendulum. Let us consider a simple pendulum which is executing a simple harmonic motion about the equilibrium position. So x is equal to 0 is called equilibrium position or origin. This is the sorry. Sorry. Okay, so let us consider the motion of simple pendulum about the equilibrium position x equal to 0. X equal to 0 is called equilibrium position or origin. Okay, this is the right hand side endpoint. X is equal to plus a. Now what is a? A is the maximum displacement of the pendulum from the equilibrium position. A is called the amplitude, which is the maximum displacement of the pendulum from the equilibrium position. So this is the equilibrium position as 0. This is the right hand side endpoint denoted by plus a, and this is the left hand side endpoint denoted by x is equal to minus a. Okay. So a is the maximum displacement of the oscillator from the equilibrium position on right hand side and left hand side. So right hand side endpoint is denoted by plus a, left hand side endpoint is minus a. Okay. Now we want to find out the energy of this simple harmonic oscillator using the phase integral. Using the phase integral, using the Wilson-Sommerfeld quantum rule, let us obtain the energy of a periodic system, that is a simple harmonic oscillator is a periodic system because it is repeating its motion about the equilibrium position. Okay, when pendulum goes on the right hand side, pendulum makes a displacement x on the right hand side, which force brings the pendulum back to the equilibrium position, and that force is nothing but that is the restoring force. Restoring force. What is the restoring force? F is proportional to x, so F is equal to minus kx. Okay. So when pendulum is making the displacement on the right hand side, okay, the restoring force F, which is proportional to displacement x, that brings the pendulum back to the equilibrium position x is equal to 0. So F is equal to minus kx is the restoring force which brings the pendulum back to the equilibrium position, and due to this restoring force, oscillator is oscillating about the equilibrium position. Good. So let us obtain the energy of this particle oscillator using the Wilson-Sommerfeld quantum rule. So I write here. Let us consider simple harmonic oscillator which consists a particle of mass m. Let us consider a simple harmonic oscillator which consists a particle of mass m bound to the origin, under the effect of restoring force F is equal to minus kx. So let us consider a simple harmonic oscillator. Let us consider a simple harmonic oscillator which is a particle of mass m. You can take the example of simple pendulum, which is a particle of mass m and which is oscillating about the equilibrium position x equals 0 between two endpoints plus and minus a under the effect of restoring force F is equal to minus x. Why this force is taken minus? Because when oscillator makes a displacement x on right hand side, this force is acting opposite in left hand side, so restoring force is taken as minus. Okay, and restoring force F is always proportional to the displacement x of the oscillator. Oscillator makes a displacement x on right hand side, the restoring force acting on the pendulum or oscillator is directly proportional to displacement x. So f is equal to minus kx. It is opposite direct. It is opposite to the displacement of oscillator. That is the negative sign is taken. Okay. Now what is this k here? K. What is k is called? This k is restoring force. F is equal to minus kx, where k is a force constant. K is a force constant. You just remember the equation of force constant which you studied in 11th 12th standard. Okay, the force constant is defined by m omega square. The force constant is defined by m omega square. What is m? M is the mass of the oscillator, omega is the angular frequency of the oscillator. M is the mass of the oscillator and omega is the angular frequency of the oscillator, which is 2 pi nu. So k is m is the mass of the oscillator and omega is the angular frequency of the oscillator, which is 2 pi nu. Okay. Now we write the phase integral for this harmonic oscillator, and then we will solve the phase integral. We will get the energy of oscillator. Yes. The coordinates of one-dimensional harmonic oscillator are, now you can see here that oscillator is oscillating in x direction. When oscillator is at the equilibrium position, when oscillator is at the equilibrium position, the x coordinate is 0. When oscillator goes on right hand side, its x coordinate will increase, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5 like that. And at this point, the value of x coordinate is +8. When oscillator moves on left side, the x coordinate will be negative, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 like that. And at this point, the x coordinate will be -6. So when oscillator is oscillating in x direction, only its x coordinate is changing. So oscillator has only x coordinate. If the oscillator is oscillating in x direction, it has only x coordinate. If the oscillator is oscillating in y direction, it has only y coordinate. But our oscillator is oscillating in x direction, so it has only x coordinate. And in x direction, the momentum of the oscillator is px. Okay. So let us consider a simple harmonic oscillator, one-dimensional simple harmonic oscillator, which is oscillating in x direction about the equilibrium position x is 0. Between 2 points plus and minus a. So this oscillator is oscillating in x direction, so it has only x coordinate. So its position coordinate will be x. At the equilibrium position, x coordinate is 0. If you on the right hand side, the x coordinate will increase, +1, +2, +3, +4, +5. If you go on left side, its x coordinate will -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So oscillator has only x direction, only x coordinate, because it is oscillating in x direction. And in x direction, the momentum of the oscillator is px. Now we write down the phase integral for this oscillator. Phase integral for this oscillator. Okay, integration of, what is the phase integral? Pi into Qi, and that must be equal to an integral multiple Planck constant h. Now, what is this Pi? Pi is the momentum coordinate. Our oscillator is oscillating in x direction, so it has momentum px. So instead of Pi, I write px here. Px is the momentum of the oscillator oscillating in x direction. Next, d. The position oscillator is oscillating in x direction, so it has only x coordinate. So px dx is equal to nh. So this will be the phase integral for our one-dimensional oscillator. The momentum of the oscillator in x direction is px, and the position coordinate of the oscillator in x direction is x. So integral px dx into nh. That is the phase integral for our oscillator. If you solve this phase integral, you will get the energy of oscillator, and you can see that the energy of the oscillator is quantized and the simple harmonic oscillator has quantized energy, different energy, discrete energy levels. Okay, now what is Px here? Px is the momentum coordinate of the oscillator. Okay, so we will put the value of momentum Px and then x. X, what is x? X is the displacement of oscillator from equilibrium position. What is x? X is the displacement of oscillator from the equilibrium position. If the oscillator is at the equilibrium position, x will be 0. If oscillator is moving towards the right hand side, x coordinate will be +1, +2, +3, +4 like that. If the oscillator is moving towards the negative side, left side, the x coordinate will be -1, -2, -3, -4 like that. So displacement of oscillator from the equilibrium position is given by, okay, please remember the equation of displacement of harmonic oscillator you derived in 11-12 standard. It is A sin omega t plus phi, but oscillator starts its motion from the equilibrium position, so phi initial phase will be 0. So this is the equation we have derived at the school level, that the displacement of harmonic oscillator, displacement of one dimensional oscillator from the equilibrium position is given by A sin omega t. This equation was studied in 11-12. That the displacement of oscillator from the equilibrium position is given by A sin omega t. What is in this equation? A is the amplitude of the oscillator, A is the amplitude of the oscillator, omega is the angular frequency of the oscillator, and t is the time, that you know it. Okay. Now from displacement you can find out the velocity of the oscillator, and from the velocity you can calculate the value of momentum of the oscillator. So let us calculate velocity of the oscillator. Velocity of the oscillator is defined as dx by dt. The velocity of the oscillator is defined by dx by dt. Okay. So let us calculate the velocity of oscillator defined by dx by dt. So what is the displacement of oscillator? A sin omega t. So what is the time derivative of displacement by dx by dt? B is equal to, now A is constant, amplitude is constant, and derivative of sin omega t will be cos omega t into coefficient of t will be omega. So this equation gives the velocity of the oscillator. The velocity of the oscillator is defined by dx by dt. Derivative of displacement x with respect to time t gives the velocity of the oscillator. So here A is constant and derivative of sin omega t will be cos omega t into. Okay. From the velocity of the oscillator, you can calculate the momentum of the oscillator. So what is the momentum of the oscillator? Mass into velocity. Mass into velocity. The m is the mass of the oscillator and b is the velocity of the oscillator. So momentum of the oscillator is m. What is the velocity of the oscillator? That is dx by dt. That is A omega cos omega. So you can put the value of this momentum Px into phase integral. Okay. You are also supposed to put the value of dx. Now what is dx? X is the displacement of oscillator, that is given by A sin omega t. So if you differentiate on both the sides, you will get the value of dx is equal to A is constant, derivative of sin omega t will be cos omega t into omega, and derivative of t will be dt. So equation 1 gives the value of px, equation 2 gives the value of dx. We will substitute these two values into phase integral. So let us substitute these two values. Integration of, first of all, let us put the value of momentum px of oscillator, which is m A omega cos omega t. So this is the value of momentum px of oscillator, which is mass into velocity. So here is the mass of oscillator, and velocity of the oscillator is A omega cos omega t. Then substitute the value of dx. What is x? X is the displacement of oscillator from the equilibrium position. The displacement of oscillator from equilibrium is A sin omega t. So if you differentiate on two sides, you will get dx is equal to A Derivative of sin omega t will be cos omega t into omega, and derivative of t will be dt. So let us put the value of dx is equal to a omega cos omega t dt. And this is equal to nh, because according to Wilson-Sommerfeld quantum rule, the value of phase integral must be an integral multiple by Planck constant h. Okay. Now from this equation, n can be taken outside the integral. A omega will be omega square a square. Integration of cos omega t will be cos square omega t dt is equal to nh. So n a omega into a omega will be a square omega square. Taken outside the integral. Integral cos omega t into cos omega t will be cos square omega t dt is equal to nh. What is the limit of time t? When oscillator starts its oscillation, the time is 0. When oscillator completes 1 by 4 oscillation, time will be t by 4. When oscillation completes half oscillation, time will be t by 2. When oscillator completes 3 by 4 oscillation, time will be 3t by 4. And when oscillator completes 1 oscillation and return to its equilibrium position, time will be capital T. That T is called the periodic time. So limit of T is from 0 to capital T. So what is periodic time? Periodic time is the time to complete one oscillation. So when oscillator starts its oscillation, time is 0. 1 by 4 oscillation, time will be t by 4. Half oscillation t by 2. 3 by 4 oscillation 3t by 4, and when the oscillator completes one oscillation, the time is t. That is called the periodic time. Okay. Next. M omega square a square integration of cos square omega t dt. The limit of time is from 0 to t. That is the periodic time. Time to complete one oscillation. It is equal to nh. Okay. Now you know very well cos square theta can be written as 1 plus cos 2 theta divided by 2. This cos square theta can be written as 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. So using this equation, we can write n omega square a square integration of, as you know, cos square theta is defined by 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. So cos square omega t can be written as 1 plus cos 2. Instead of theta, we write omega t, 1 plus cos 2 omega t divided by 2 dt is equal to nh. The limit of time is from 0 to t. So n omega square a square is constant. Integral cos square omega t can be written as 1 plus cos 2 omega t by 2 dt. Okay. So now this 1 by 2 m omega square square. I separate two integrations. The first integral is 1 dt from 0 to t, plus second integral will be cos 2 omega t dt from 0 to t is equal to n. I have separated two integration. The first integral will be integral 1 dt. First integral will be integral 1 dt plus second integral will be integral cos 2 omega dt is equal to n. Okay. So the first integral is integral 1 dt. The second integral will be cos 2 omega dt is equal to n. The limit is from 0 to t. Okay. Now let us solve this. One by 2 n omega square square integration of, this is very simple integral. Integral dt is t. from 0 to t. Integral it is t from 0 to t. So first integral is very simple. Integral dt is t. The limit is from 0 to t. The second integral is integral cos 2 omega t. You know the integration of cos theta is sin theta. So integral cos 2 omega t can be written as sin 2 omega t divided by coefficient of t is 2 omega from 0 to t. So this is the value of two integration. First integral dt is t from 0 to t. Second integral cos 2 omega t is sin 2 omega t divided by the coefficient of t, that is 2 omega. So 1 by 2 m omega square a square. If you put the limit here, then the upper limit is t minus lower limit is 0. So that is t only, t. Plus, in the second step, if you put the limit in the second step, it is going to be 0. See, I explain how the second term is going to be 0. See, when you put the limit here, sin 2 omega is nothing but 2 pi by capital T upon 2 omega. I put the upper limit. What is the upper limit of time? Capital T. So I put here capital T. The upper limit of time is capital T. That is the periodic time. Minus sin 2 omega. The lower limit of time T is 0. So it is 0. And H. Okay. This T is going to be cancelled. So in the first term, you will be having sin 4 pi upon 2 omega. In the second term, you have sin 2 omega into sin 0 upon 2 omega. You know very well that sin is a periodic function. The value of sin 0 is 0, sin 2 pi is 0, sin 4 pi is 0. So value of sin 4 pi is 0 and sin 0 is also 0. So second integral will not appear in this equation. So it is 0. So we get 1 by 2 m omega square a square capital T. The value of second integral is 0 because sin 4 pi is 0, sin 4 pi is 0 as well as sin 0 is also 0. That is equal to nh. So value of 1 by 2 m omega square a square is nothing but nh upon capital T. nh upon capital T. Yes. Now what is this 1 by 2 m omega square a square? That you have also studied in the 11th standard. That the total energy of the oscillator is nothing but the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. So total energy of the oscillator is, what is the kinetic energy of the oscillator? Half mv square. The total energy of the oscillator is defined as the sum of kinetic energy of the oscillator is half mv square plus potential energy of the oscillator is half kx square. So total energy of the oscillator is kinetic energy of the oscillator half mv square plus potential energy of the oscillator is half kx square. Okay. If you put value of x here, what is the displacement of oscillator? A sin omega t. And if you put the value of velocity here, what is velocity of the oscillator? Dx by dt, that is a omega cos omega t. And calculate, you will get the total energy of the oscillator comes up to be 1 by 2 m omega square a square. Right? So total energy of the oscillator is the sum of kinetic energy of the oscillator is half mv square plus potential energy of the oscillator is half kx square. If you substitute the value, you do this small homework. If you put the displacement of the oscillator is a sin omega t, so it will be a square sin omega t. Velocity of the oscillator is a omega cos omega t, that is dx by dt. So its square will be a square omega square cos square omega t. then cos square omega t plus sin square omega t will be is going to 1. So the total energy of the oscillator comes 1 by 2 m omega square a square. Here we got 1 by 2 m omega square a square is equal to nh upon t. See, in this calculation, you please remember this equation, that equation of force constant K is m omega square. So actually you have to substitute three values. Velocity of the oscillator is a omega cos omega t square. Value of force constant K is m omega square, and displacement of the oscillator is a sin omega t. If you calculate, you will get this answer 1 by 2 m omega square a square. That is nothing but the total energy of the oscillator. So total energy of the oscillator 1 by 2 m omega square En, that is equal to nh upon t. So this 1 by 2 m omega square a square is nothing but it is the total energy of the oscillator En is equal to nh upon t. Now what is 1 upon t? 1 upon t is the frequency of the oscillator. nh, 1 upon t is the frequency of the oscillator, that is nu. That is the frequency of oscillator. 1 upon lecture will be closed. So 1 upon t is the frequency of the oscillator. So the total energy of the oscillator is nh nu. Okay, sorry. This equation gives the quantized energy of the oscillator. Okay. This equation gives quantized energy of simple harmonic oscillator. So using phase integral, by solving the phase integral, we have derived the equation of the energy of harmonic oscillator, and we found that the energy of harmonic oscillator cannot be anything. You cannot take any value of energy. The harmonic oscillator can take only this quantized values of energy, which is given by nh nu. Okay. So according to quantum mechanics, harmonic oscillator cannot oscillate with any value of energy, any arbitrary value of energy. Oscillator can oscillate with the energy En is equal to nh nu. So this equation gives the quantized values of energy of simple harmonic oscillator, and this equation suggests that simple harmonic oscillator has discrete energy levels. So I draw the discrete energy levels of oscillator. One upon t, you know very well it is the frequency of the oscillator. Okay. So if I draw the different energy level of the oscillator, suppose this is the ground state 0, this is n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3. So I have shown discrete energy level of the harmonic oscillator. You can see that the energy of the oscillator is given by nh nu. So in the level n is equal to 0, the energy of the oscillator is 0. In the level energy level n is 0, the energy will be h nu, because n is 1. In the energy level n is 0, the energy of the oscillator will be 2h nu. And if you take n is equal to 3, the energy of the oscillator in the level n is equal to 3 is 3h nu. So oscillator can have energy h nu, 2h nu, 3h nu. In between values of energy are not possible. This is called quantization of the energy, and therefore oscillator has discrete energy levels. Yes. Which important thing you find from these energy levels? You can find that the energy level difference between two energy level h nu minus 0 will be h nu, 2h nu minus h nu will be also h nu, 3h minus 2h is also F. So what is your conclusion? What is your conclusion? That the simple harmonic oscillator has discrete energy level with which are equally, the energy levels of harmonic oscillator are equally spaced, having a constant spacing h between two energy levels. So write down the conclusion. Yes. The energy level of simple harmonic oscillator, the energy levels of simple harmonic oscillator are equally spaced. The energy levels of the oscillator are equally spaced. Just like a ladder. Ladder has equally spaced steps. Similarly, just like a ladder, the energy levels of simple harmonic oscillator are equally spaced. Having separation h nu between consecutive energy levels. So what is your conclusion from this calculation? By solving the phase integral, by using Wilson Sommerfeld quantum rule and solving the phase integral, we have derived the equation of simple harmonic oscillator, energy of simple harmonic oscillator, which is h nu. In the ground state, energy is 0. In the level 1, it is h nu. Level 2, it is 2h nu. Level 3, it is 3h nu. And the separation between consecutive and discrete energy levels of harmonic oscillator is h nu. So energy level of simple harmonic oscillator are equally spaced and having a separation h nu between two consecutive energy levels. So energy levels of harmonic oscillator are equally spaced, having energies h nu, 2h nu, 3h nu, and the separation between two energy levels is constant, that is h nu. Okay, and lastly, we will draw the phase diagram for harmonic oscillator. At the end, we will draw the phase diagram of simple harmonic oscillator. And let us see the shape of phase diagram, whether it is a circle, it is an ellipse, or square, or rectangle. So let us draw the phase diagram of simple harmonic oscillator. What is the phase diagram? It is a graph of momentum of the oscillator against displacement of the oscillator. If you draw the graph of momentum against the displacement of oscillator, that is called the phase diagram. Momentum is taken along y direction and displacement is taken along x direction. So graph of momentum coordinate px against displacement position coordinate x is called the phase diagram for simple harmonic oscillator. So we calculate total energy of oscillator. Total energy of oscillator, as you know very well, it is the sum of kinetic energy plus potential energy of the oscillator. So total energy of the oscillator is defined by the sum of kinetic energy of the oscillator plus potential energy of the oscillator. So let us calculate the total energy of the oscillator. E is equal to the kinetic energy of the oscillator is half of p square or p square upon 2m plus the kinetic energy of oscillator is half m square or p square upon 2m, and potential energy of the oscillator is half kx square. Half kx. So this is the equation of total energy of oscillator. This is defined by the sum of kinetic energy of the oscillator is px square upon 2m, and potential energy of the oscillator is half kx square. You know each and every term. K is the force constant, which is equal to m omega square. X is the displacement of the oscillator, and px is the momentum of the oscillator. If you draw the graph of momentum px, momentum coordinate px, and position coordinate x, that is called the phase diagram. Okay. If you divide both sides by E, if you divide this equation by energy E, so dividing by E, we get E upon E will be 1, px square upon 2me plus kx square upon 2e. So let us divide both sides of this equation by e. We get e upon e is 1. Px square upon 2me plus kx square upon 2e. Good. So this equation can be written as px square upon 2me plus x square upon 2e. This k can be taken in denominator. That is equal to 1. So from the equation of total energy of the oscillator, we get this equation px, and dividing this equation to the equation of total energy by e, we get px square upon 2me plus x square upon 2e by k is equal to e. Okay. This equation is identical to the equation, you know, the equation of circle. What is the equation of circle? X square plus y square is equal to r square. So our equation is not like a equation of circle. You know the equation of ellipse. You know the equation of ellipse. That is x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1. So this equation, this is a equation of an ellipse. This is the equation of an ellipse. Yes. So please recall the equation of ellipse. Equation of ellipse is a well-known equation x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1. I told you that equation of circle is x square plus y square is equal to r square. Equation of ellipse is x square upon a square plus y square upon b is equal to 1. Equation of parabola, you also know it is of the form y is equal to bx square is the equation of parabola, like that. Okay. Now this is the equation of ellipse, x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1. What is a here? A is called semi-major axis of the ellipse. And what is b is called? B is called the semi-minor axis of the ellipse. Now if you compare our equation with the equation of ellipse, if you compare both the equation, you will find that this A, which is called the semi-major axis of the ellipse, and B is called the semi-minor axis of the ellipse. So by comparing these two equations, we can say that semi-major axis of ellipse A is equal to, see, you can compare both the equation. A square is equal to 2me. So what is the semi-major axis of the ellipse? Under root 2me. Under root 2me. If you compare it with the second term, B is the semi-minor axis of the ellipse. B square is 2e by k. So what is the semi-minor axis? Of the ellipse is B is equal to under root 2e by k. So the semi-major axis of the ellipse, A is equal to under root 2me, and semi-minor axis of the ellipse B is under root 2e by k. By comparing both the equation. Now our equation is identical to the equation of ellipse, means the phase diagram of simple harmonic oscillator will be an ellipse. Because our equation is an equation of ellipse, therefore the phase diagram of simple harmonic oscillator is an ellipse. In ellipse, you know very well that this longer axis is called major axis. The total length of the longer axis is 2a, so a is the semi-minor axis. The shorter axis is called semi-minor axis. The total length of the semi-minor axis is 2b, so b is called semi-minor axis. So this is the ellipse in which this longer axis is called major axis. Its length is 2a, so a is the semi-major axis. The shorter axis is called minor axis. Okay, its length is 2b, so b is called semi minor axis. Okay, so A is equal to, what is the length of semi major axis? Under root 2n. Under root 2n. Okay. Once again, I made the mistake. I'm very sorry for that. Okay, I compare both the equations once again. Equation was like that: px square. Sorry. Again, I make the mistake because the axis have been changed. Okay. So that equation is like that, and x square 2e by k plus px square upon 2ab. This is our equation: x square upon 2e by k, x square upon 2e by k plus px square upon 2ab is equal to 1. If you compare this equation, our equation, with the equation of ellipse, x square upon x square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1. I'm very sorry. Once again, you see our equation, which we have derived from the equation of total energy of the oscillator. We got the equation x square upon 2e by k plus px square upon 2ab is equal to 1. And this is the equation of ellipse. So we can compare this equation with the equation of ellipse: x square upon x square plus y square upon b square is 1. If you compare with the equation, then semi major axis A will be under 2e by k. So that is, all the axes are interchanged. By comparing two equations, we can say that the semi major axis of the ellipse is under 2e by k. So semi major axis of the ellipse is under 2e by k. And if you compare the second term, then semi minor axis of the ellipse B will be under 2n. Semi minor axis of the ellipse B will be under root 2n. Okay, in this we have taken momentum coordinate px along y direction, and we have taken position coordinate x along x direction. Okay, so you can see that the phase diagram of a simple harmonic oscillator describes a ellipse with semi major axis A is under 2e by k and semi minor axis of the ellipse is under 2n. So finally we write down the conclusion. Thus, the phase diagram of simple harmonic oscillator describes an ellipse with semi major axis A, which is under 2e by k, and semi minor axis B, which is under root 2n. So you can be asked, the phase diagram of simple harmonic oscillator describes ellipse, circle, square, or rectangle. You can see here that our equation is similar to the equation of ellipse. So phase diagram of phase diagram of harmonic oscillator describes an ellipse whose semi major axis A is under root 2e by k and semi minor axis of the ellipse is under root 2n. And if you have a problem, if you have a question that why the value of phase integral is taken as integral root of Planck constant h, then you can get the proof from this calculation. Yes, see here in this ellipse, momentum coordinate px we have taken along y direction and x coordinate we have taken along x direction. So what is the area of the ellipse? Area of ellipse is given by area of ellipse. Yes. Can you tell me what is the area of this ellipse? Can you tell me what is the area of this ellipse? Px is the momentum coordinate is taken along y direction and this position coordinate is taken along x direction. Then the area enclosed by this ellipse is given by integration of px dx. Okay. So the area enclosed by the ellipse is defined by integration of px dx. And you know that pi r square is the area of circle. If A is the semi major axis of the ellipse, B is the semi minor axis of the ellipse, then area of this ellipse will be pi AB. If you substitute the values of a and b, you will get the integration of px dx. You will get the value of integration of px dx. Let us put the value of a and b. So let us calculate the area of this ellipse, which is defined by pi into semi-major axis A into semi-minor axis B. Pi here is, what is semi-major axis of the ellipse? Under root p by 2. Under root p by 2. What is semi-minor axis of the ellipse? Under root 2l. Under root 2l. A small calculation. If you do this, you will get the area of the ellipse pi AB. Pi is constant. The semi-major axis of the ellipse is under root 2 by k and semi-minor axis of the ellipse is under root 2l. If you calculate this, you will get 2 pi e under root n by k, where n is the mass of the oscillator and k is the force constant. Okay. Now this E into 2 pi under root n by, again you have studied the equation of simple on this to the equation of displacement, equation of velocity, equation of energy, equation of periodic time, equation of frequency of harmonic oscillator 11 and 12 standard. Anybody can tell me what is 2 pi under root n by k? This 2 pi under root n by k. This 2 pi under root n by k is nothing but it is the equation of frequency of oscillator, frequency. This 2 pi under root n by k is the frequency of oscillator. If you see the textbook of physics 11-12, you will find this equation that 2 pi under root n by k gives the frequency of oscillator. Frequency of the oscillator. Sorry, that is the equation of periodic time t. Periodic time t. Okay, so 2 pi under root n by k is the periodic time of the oscillator. So yes, what is the energy of the oscillator? We have just derived nhv. nhv. We have just derived. So by solving the phase integral, we have derived the quantized energy of the oscillator is nhv, and 2 pi under root n by k is the periodic time of oscillator, which is 1 upon mu. This mu is cancelled. So you will get the answer nh. So we can say that the value of phase integral is always an integral multiple of Planck constant h. Value of phase integral, we have proved that value of phase integral is an integral multiple of Planck constant h. Thank you so much. This is the end of this lecture.